Do you want to drop fat fast while keeping your muscle? I'm talking about rapid weight loss without losing your hard-earned gains. Sounds too good to be true? It's not. It's called Protein Sparing Modified Fast, or PSMF. And in this video, I'm gonna give you a 7-day PSMF meal plan to help you get ripped in no time. Hi, I'm Dr. Sarah Zaldivar, and I managed to lose 30 pounds and maintain it by treating the root cause of my emotional eating. I did that by raising my baseline dopamine levels, but I'll tell you a little bit more about that towards the end of this video. I also quit my nutrition professor job at the University of Miami and Miami-Dade College and other universities so I could reach a wider audience online. Now, before we dive into the meal plan, here's the deal. PSMF is a very low-calorie, high-protein diet designed to strip fat fast while maintaining muscle. So this isn't a long-term strategy. It's not something you want to be doing for a very long period of time. It's just a tool that we use sometimes to break through a weight loss plateau, or if you have an event or something very major that you really want to get in shape for in a very short period of time. With PSMF, your body's going to be running on fat as fuel as opposed to its usual reliance on carbs if you used to eat carbs. But the protein is also going to maintain your muscle, so you're not going to slow down your metabolism and you're not going to lose muscle. I like it better than fasting where you're not eating anything because it's going to preserve your muscle and because it's going to give you nutrients to keep that dopamine and serotonin, acetylcholine, all of those brain chemicals require protein or amino acids as raw material to be synthesized. All right, here's a full 7-day meal plan that's simple, effective, packed with nutrients, protein, and fiber that's gonna keep you full so it's easier for you to stick to the low calorie. If you wanna stick to a carnivore diet, you can still do it. Just remove all of the plants from it, all of the herbs and the spices. It's going to be harder because you won't get that volumizing effect from the fiber and the plant foods. So mentally, it can be a little bit harder, but if you have a strong reason for it, then you can totally do it. All right, here we go. Days 1 and 2 are gonna look like this. Breakfast can be an egg white scramble with spinach. Lunch can be chicken breast with zucchini noodles or zoodles. You can saute the zucchini with a little bit of olive oil. Dinner is steamed or grilled codfish fillet with some steamed broccoli. For a snack, you can have a non-fat Greek yogurt with a little sprinkle of cinnamon, and you could add a little bit of stevia or some sweetener to give the cinnamon an extra punch. Now, days 3 and 4 are gonna look like this. For breakfast, no-fat cottage cheese with sliced cucumbers. You can also sprinkle some artificial sweetener or non-nutritive sweetener. You can do allulose, monk fruit extract, stevia, or if you're not too much into the clean eating world, then maybe even Splenda. I'm not a big fan of those artificial sweeteners. I prefer to go with a little bit of a more natural sweetener. Lunch can be turkey breast lettuce wraps with mustard. Dinner can be steamed or grilled shrimp, a stir fry with bok choy. If you're going to add a little bit of fat, it really shouldn't be more than half a tablespoon of oil, or maybe just use Spam or something like that, because the whole idea here is we don't want any extra energy source coming in. So we don't want extra fats and we don't want any extra carbohydrates. We want the body to have no option but to burn your own body fat. As a snack, you can do bone broth to get some fluids in, electrolytes in, and it helps with satiety. But you can always do the non-fat Greek yogurt with the cinnamon and stevia on top as a snack on all the days. And here are days 5 through 7. Breakfast can be a protein shake with unsweetened almond milk. Lunch can be baked tilapia with some steamed asparagus on the side. Dinner can be some ground turkey with some mushrooms that are sauteed on the side. You can add a little bit of sauteed and caramelized onions and peppers as well. Just the more veggies you add in, the easier it's going to be mentally to stick to this diet. As a snack, you can do hard-boiled eggs, or again, the non-fat Greek yogurt with the cinnamon and the stevia sprinkled on top. You will notice on this meal plan, there are no starchy carbohydrates, there are no fats and no added sugars. This is going to lead to a massive caloric deficit, and that's going to really lean you out super fast. PSMF works really fast, but here are some tips to make it work even better. You want to be really hydrated, so you want to make sure you're drinking 10 to 12 cups of water a day. That's going to actually trigger your fat cells to burn more of their fat, and they're going to release fat more easily. There are studies that have shown how increasing hydration alone is going to trigger fat breakdown. Also, electrolytes are essential. So adding in an electrolyte mix like electrolyte drops or Element or any of the electrolyte brands that you like, or simply adding bone broth or just adding salt to your water, that's going to be very helpful to keep your blood volume high, and that's going to prevent drops in blood pressure, and that's going to help your mood, and it's going to help your energy levels remain elevated. This is particularly important for those of you who have never played around with keto or carnivore or any kind of low carb diet before. The adaptation from eating carbs to not eating carbs overnight can be a little bit difficult for some people. Some people adapt quickly and no problem, but most people I find need to pay attention to their electrolytes, especially initially until you adapt, and then eventually your body adapts if you choose to maintain a low carb diet in the future. Now, this is really important. You want to maintain a strength training routine because it's not enough that we're giving the body the protein so that it wouldn't lose muscle. It's also important that we send a strong hormonal signal to the body to maintain the muscle and not burn through it. And so maintaining a good strength training regimen throughout this week is going to be very, very helpful so that once you're done with this fast, you don't gain the weight back and you can maintain this new leaner body weight. This is where it's really important that you understand about this phenomenon called metabolic adaptation, where the body could slow down its metabolism after a dieting attempt. And so I wrote a guide called SUPERBREED METABOLISM, which is the phase that is critically important to do after the end of your weight loss phase. This phase is called a reverse dieting phase, and you can slowly reintroduce higher calories to your body so that you slowly increase the speed of the metabolism of your body. This is especially important if you did not do the strength training workouts or you didn't eat enough protein. It's just about being extra careful so that we make sure your metabolism did not slow down. Genetics also plays a part in this. So for some people, their metabolism will not slow down, and if you follow everything I mentioned in this video, there's a good chance that your metabolism is not going to slow down because you're giving it the protein and your strength training. But some people genetically respond very quickly, and you would know yourself. And so if you feel that you are the kind of person that will regain the weight very quickly after a diet, it's really, really important that you look into reverse dieting or check out my guide, SUPERBREED Metabolism, to learn how to exit a diet, which is even more important than how we enter into a diet, because that's going to be the determinant for long-term maintenance of any weight loss. You can find the guide on DrZALDIVAR.com/shop. And again, one more caveat. If you are not used to eating this type of whole food, clean, or sober meal plan, as I like to call it, then you might run into sugar withdrawal symptoms. If you're used to eating addictive foods, even things that are healthy, like protein bars or protein-rich processed foods, you still might run into sugar withdrawal symptoms. Please, please, please watch the video that I filmed on the sugar withdrawal symptoms. It's very short and it goes over all of the symptoms that are so common that people go through. That way, if you feel them, then you'll understand where they're coming from and you can tackle them appropriately. And that's gonna help you stick to this diet so that you don't throw in the towel too soon. More importantly, a better long-term strategy is to raise your baseline dopamine levels so that you don't run into the sugar withdrawal symptoms and the adaptation from cutting off sugar from your diet over and over and over again. When you cut out sugar from your diet, you remove this external dopamine hit that you were getting from processed foods or sugars. And now you're going through life with a void in your brain because your brain isn't used to making its own dopamine. It's used to relying on an external source of dopamine. And so the way that I was able to lose those 30 pounds and finally maintain them after struggling with that all my life, yo-yo dieting, emotional eating, is because I understood that raising my baseline dopamine levels is going to treat the root cause. And so what you really want to do is understand how to raise your baseline dopamine so that your brain can naturally start creating its own dopamine, and more importantly, its own dopamine receptors known as the D2 receptors in your brain. I spent 7 years at the University of Miami while I was working on my dissertation for my Ph.D. degree, working on specifically that topic. And if you want to learn all of my tools and how I work with my clients, then you can check those out in the fitness bundle, which includes 3 guides. Every single guide tackles an important element of how to raise your baseline dopamine, the dopamine brain, monster mindset, and dopamine body. You can find them at drzaldivar.com/shop. Now, if you're looking for more personalized support, you can find my one-on-one coaching packages at drzaldivar.com/coaching. And if you got intrigued by me mentioning the carnivore diet, I will send you a free copy of my guide, the 30-Day Carnivore Diet Challenge Guide, when you sign up to my newsletter at drzaldivar.com/newsletter. So there you have it, your 7-day PSMF weight loss meal plan that's going to help you lose weight super fast and, more importantly, maintain that muscle and not allow your metabolism to slow down in the process. If you're ready to try this, drop a fire emoji in the comments section. Also, make sure you let me know you enjoy this type of content by giving this YouTube video a thumbs up, subscribing, hitting that little notification bell icon so YouTube alerts you every time I post a new video. And please share this video with a friend or family member who you feel might benefit from this information. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.